Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a prophetic dream to share with you guys. I think you're gonna like this one. At first I thought, what does this dream even mean? It probably means nothing. You know how we do sometimes, just kind of brush them off as just weird. Well, I then thought about one of the main it held the dream together. The main thing, the main focus were snakes. So anytime you see snakes, it's not really good. So then I knew it was a thing I had to pay attention to. But I got no interpretation whatsoever to anything. What any of it meant. And usually you will have impressions of at least a small snip. It's like the Lord putting a seal of approval on it. His signature. It's him signing that document. You know, this is mine. I sent it to you. So I didn't get any of that, and I thought, okay, wait a minute, the snakes. So I honed in on that, and I was like, okay, Lord. Went to the Lord. I was like, explain. You're gonna have to explain this to me. Okay, so the dream. You'll have to excuse me. By the way, I describe things in this dream. I'm not real knowledgeable about how to build things or work on cars. I'm not that type of inclined whatsoever. I could figure it out. I'm smart enough to figure it out. My mother actually was our personal as well as other people's car mechanic growing up. So I mean, I grew up around that kind of stuff, but I held no interest in it. I like doing my hair and all these other types of things, clothes, and so I was just a typical girl. So anyway, with that being said, excuse me on this, but I did recognize what I was looking at was a crawl space on a house. All that was left of the house, it was like the top of the house had been ripped off along with the floor. It was ripped up. So you had these main pieces of wood that went along the outer edges of each room. You could see where each room was at, right? All I saw was dirt, and there was like these pitted looking places that was in the dirt where something had bedded down into several places within the underside of that house. And so this is what I saw. The beams, here's the interesting part. The beams I told you that traced out each room. I was like, well, okay, I'm seeing all those. What are those? And I heard it. Joist. And I was like, floor joist? Is that what it's called? So my curiosity got the best of me, and I looked it up, and yes, that's what it's called. It was the floor joist. So I had to add that in there. Stuff like that is very weird to me because I have no knowledge of it. And so anyway, in one of these pits, right up against one of the floor joists to the left of one of the rooms that would have been in this house, up against that beam in a pit, there were a bunch of snakes bedded up together. It looked like snakes mating is what it looked like. And so it was all these snakes. Now, when they started kind of parting company, because they saw me, all the snakes, they fled from me, except for one. One come after me. There was something unique about the snakes. The shape of these snakes, and I knew that they were pit vipers. The type of snake is not native to here. It's not a timber rat. It's not a diamondback. It was not a moccasin. I've never seen a snake quite like that, but it was a pit viper. It was a pit viper. All of them were. But the unique thing about these snakes, they look pregnant. Okay, the shape of the snake. So if you take a tube sock and stuffed a softball in it, you know, that bulge that's in it, that's what the snakes look like. And so when I saw this, I was like, what? I was more shocked than anything when it started coming at me, because I saw that it looked pregnant or something wrong with it. And I knew that was not normal, and I started backing up. This thing bit my leg, okay? And then it scurried off. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get to the ER. I was really freaking out, you guys. I was freaking out. I thought I was going to die. My son-in-law, he's, of course, this is the wrong kind of doctor to be trying to assess me. He's a gynecologist, and but he was there. I could hear his voice, but I never saw his face. And my daughter was there too, and she's a registered nurse, and she works under him. They both deliver babies. They work as a team. So they were both there. I could only hear their voices. So I am assuming the Lord just used the voices, because I was familiar with them and I would listen. And so, but I did not get to see them at all. I mean, my daughter was right beside me and I never got to see her. So that usually means it was an angel of the Lord or the Lord himself just using that voice. And so, anyway, I knew she was in the driver's seat. My son-in-law was in the back seat. And they said, you don't worry. You will not be affected by that snake bite. It will not affect you. And I woke up. Y'all, every bit of this is in Matthew 23. But see, I didn't get it to start with until I said, Lord, why do these snakes look pregnant? Why are they fat? He said one word: hypocrisy. So it's hypocrisy and lust of the flesh. That's what they're after. That is their whole existence, is to feed their flesh and do it at our expense. So I thought this dream was very, very, very profound. I've had a few other ones that have just kind of raised caution to me. And I'm going to release this one with this video because it's just, all I saw was his face. I got to see the head, the turban thing. I got to see his face. And know that this guy is rising up. And he's got a people with him. And they're not coming to play patty cake. This guy, he will not be Taliban, the one who just took over Afghanistan. Will not be Taliban. This other one, he is the leader of these people. There's make no mistake, that's what he is. He is in his early 30s. He's not very old. He's actually a very nice looking man. He doesn't have the same skin tone or the shape of the eyes as the people that are with the Taliban. He's darker. His eyes are like not as big and puppy dog looking. The dark circles under his eyes are not that profound because he's chubby faced. He has a long beard. I mean, just like he just grew it natural. His head dressing, you will see when these people rise up. I don't know what they're gonna do. When they rise up, this guy has got a white turban and it's rolled up and around the head, but that detail was closed in on by the Lord when he showed it to me. And this is in a vision of the night. I had several snippets that I got to see of different things. It looked like a picture book he was thumbing through that moved in small increments. And that was one of them. And actually, two of them so far come to pass the next day. So, yeah, the Lord had spoken to me like, I don't know, some months back, and he said, this is a faith movement. Not a word of faith movement, not like, I'm trying to boost your faith by talking to you. No, these are acts done by God, because we had everybody stressing about Acts of the Apostles, because it was Pentecost, right? And the Lord was like, but I'm performing a faith movement. He said, those works are in my hands. I'm laying the track. And he's building faith. The faith of his people. Now, what we have to have, like all kinds of crazy faith for, one can only speculate, but we do need to eventually we will make it to raising the dead, cleansing the lepers, lay our hands on the sick and they shall be healed. So, anyway, yeah, get excited, y'all. It is a wonderful time to be alive despite what we're seeing. And I praise his name every single day, you guys. Glory to God. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I thank you for watching.